How we doing, everybody? This is Pete Roberts here with bjjweekly.com, Rolling Reflections. And this week we have Gregor Gracie from the legendary Renzo Gracie Academy in Manhattan. So I start on my back here, and Gregor starts from the top, and he's immediate looking to pass. He wants to display his jiu-jitsu right off here, and I hadn't really explained to him what the Rolling Reflections was about, so he's trying to just go at my pace and looking for submission right off, a Kimura, and eventually gets into north-south, comes into side control. And I like this move right here. He once he settles into side, he kind of sits down and he shows me his left foot. Watch him show it to me right here, and he goes into mount. I look, and he just does a nice high step over into mount, and he immediately sets his hips down to control mine and walks into high mount. And I try to snake away, and he just grabs my sleeves and lifts his hips to deflect my force upwards as he climbs into a nice solid high mount and sinks that choke. You can see him hiding his heels and his feet under my hips, so I have no way to elbow escape, get out of this position. He finishes with a choke from mount. So I'm explaining to Gregor here just the point of Rolling Reflections, and this is really to display his jiu-jitsu. I'm just going to play defense. If I can pull off a sweep, that's great, but I'm strictly going to play defense from the bottom and allow him to display his jiu-jitsu and the things he wants to show to you guys. So we restart, and I'm on my back, and I get a few grips here, and he's looking for a pass. He's got a nice combat base here. He's looking to pass, and he goes to control my pant legs, and I'm kind of controlling his heel on his right leg and looking for a nice little sweep I like to use, but he decided he would change the game and kind of stood up and put his weight forward, trying to strip that grip off my knee, and he eventually does and passes here. So he's got a really solid base, and his side control position and his mount are just nasty. I would say for him, what I felt was that those two positions were probably his best. If he gets side control, he's going to mount you and he's going to choke you out. And there's really not a whole lot you can do about it. So again, he goes for that high step mount, and I'm looking to escape, and I try to do a bridge and roll, and then I feel that there's an opening, so I grab his leg and back in a half guard and try to rotate my hips down, but he switches it up and comes for like this inside cross knee pass. So he just switched his hips, came inside, controlled my collar to keep me from turning anymore, and eventually just sucks that leg out. And he already had the choke sunk right here pretty much, and he let one go just to regain his base. But super tight mount. You can see his heels and his feet are hiding under my hips and my butt, which doesn't allow me to do any type of escape. So we decided I was going to try to pass now, and he was going to play his guard game. Again, we're going pretty easy. Again, 40, 50%, 60% at some points. And he's trying the spider guard, and I keep stripping the grips off my knee, looking for a pass and trying to control his legs. And he really likes the spider guard from the bottom when his guard is open. You see him always have 4 points of contact. He's always got a good grip on my sleeves, on my pant legs. He's always got his heels and my hips or on my knees, and I'm really just looking for control here. I'm trying to pass, and he gets a grip I didn't like, so I kind of settled down and just trying to float on top of him a little bit, and he eventually sweeps and comes up into this nice little position here, kind of a nice knee bar position, but he steps out for this reverse mount right there. And as I push, I wanted to try to take his back, so I pushed his hips forward to try to get my knees through, but he just simply jumps up, spreads his legs, and he lands, and it put all my force above my head where I have no strength. So I decided I was going to try to go for a nice little knee on belly sweep, but he knew it was coming, and he just really stayed solid with his hands and feet. You can see he's got 3 points, three posts on the ground. He had two hands in his foot, and then he got some nice controls to take that sweep away. So I try to come to my belly, and he goes for this omoplata, and I sit through and try to rotate back into a more advantageous position. But he eventually gets past, I think, here, and we'll see what happens. He's got a nice tight side control, goes for that high step mount again, again drops his hips, hides his feet, grabs behind my neck, stays nice and tight until he gets the Ezekiel finish. So we restart one more time, and I decided to kick it up a couple notches. I decided, try to give him my A game a little bit here and really try to work the pass. And I figured, being a Gracie, he'd respect that, because they're all about the competition, and they want the best from their competitors. So I come inside with this inside cross knee pass, and I'm trying to really keep my hips high. I'm just trying to play some defense and keep him from sweeping me to the left. He's looking for that to dump me to the left, and I eventually stuff it and come back to my knees. He goes right back into spider guard, and you can see we've picked it up quite a bit. We're not going 100%, but we're probably going 85 or 90%, it felt great to roll with him. So he gets a nice little hook on my leg, and I try to step out onto his arm to control his arm, but I slipped out and try to grab this DLR hook to sit back, but he was privy to what I was doing, and he stuffed it pretty good. Again, I'm coming back with my combat base, and we decided to go one more minute. He's going for that spider guard sweep again, and once he doesn't get it, he just gets his controls back, gets the 4 points of contact, controls my hips, controls my sleeves, controls my legs. He's looking for an arm drag right there, but I just settled back in. I thought I had a pass right there coming with that cross knee pass, but he just used my momentum and pushed me right back to where he wanted me. And you'll see eventually right here he gets a nice little hook on my leg and dumps me on my back. I'm really still trying to pass, and he's going for that spider guard sweep again, and he decided to change it up right here. I stepped up a little bit too high, and he took advantage of it and had a really nice sweep, and I already had his left leg passed to my hip, so all he needed to do was step around with his right leg, and you see him right here, he did, and he controls my hip with his knee to allow me, so I couldn't turn back into him. And he eventually mounts and finishes with another choke. And I didn't count the chokes, but there were quite a few, and every single one was from mount. What an awesome competitor, awesome MMA guy, and a really gracious host. Again, this is Pete Roberts with bjjweekly.com. We'll see you next week.